Okay. Try
I
and remember
dunno.
it.
I will try and remember it.
Yeah. Okay, here we are.
Here we are. This is, I feel a bit weird. It's very end of termy.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. Because this is going to be the final episode that we record before the end of the year.
I know, which obviously love you guys, but we did kind of jump for joy when we realised. We were like, oh, it's nearly the holidays. I'm so excited to have a couple of weeks. Well, I was about to say to chill. No,
No.
it's not going to be to chill,
Okay.
but a couple of weeks where we don't have to worry about work. I feel like we've been really lucky
Yeah.
with the holiday, with the bank holiday placements and stuff this year.
Yes, it works out really well, doesn't it? Because with a
Yeah.
kind of a day off here and there, you can get a 2 weeks out of it, can't you?
Yeah.
But I was just saying off pod, wasn't I? I've forgotten to book any holiday. But I will book a couple of days um, and it's fine. It's kind of even if I'm having to dabble around and do little bits on, say, like the 23rd in
Mm-hmm.
between picking up the turkey and stuff like that, it's
Yes.
fine. The people are understanding in our company,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
understanding of flexibility and things that we need
People
to
are
do,
lush.
and yeah, so it's fine.
What day are you picking up your turkey? Is it the 23rd?
23rd, we get our Waitrose delivery, which I have to say to you was booked in, I think, September.
Well, now I know. Now I know. I think I remember thinking this was really funny, but actually I can now so see how this happens. I
Mm.
remember Doug's auntie one year getting a delivery from Waitrose on Christmas Eve of just a magnum of champagne, and her going, "What? Oh
Oh,
my!"
she did exactly what my mother-in-law does.
She'd reserved
Yeah,
her order by putting
yeah,
50 quid's worth of stuff in or whatever.
yeah.
Thought it'd be funny to put a big magnum of champagne in there, and then that was what arrived on Christmas Eve.
It's what all the girls are doing, it
It's what
turns
all the
out, so
girls are
yeah,
doing, all the Christmas
everyone
girlies.
everyone in my mother-in-law's flats, that every single one of them a magnum of champagne. I feel very sorry for the magnum of champagne people
I
who then
know.
suddenly
We
aren't
were like, "We've had a
delivering.
great Q3," and then
Yeah, to be replaced by Sprouts and blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. Yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
we've got
well, okay, so you're picking up turkey. I'm just wondering, the reason I'm fishing, because
yes.
do you know what time you're picking up your turkey?
Oh, 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 don't. You're exciting me now.
I
I think
know.
I think it's 8:30.
Oh, bollocks. Ours
No,
is at
what's it?
2:30.
Oh.
But it's on the 23rd and it's from the same butchers. So I was thinking, how festive would it be if we went and got the turkey
At
together?
the
We'd
same
have to go for a
time.
pint. We'd
We'd
have
have to.
to.
I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. We're getting the turkey and sorry, vegans, turkey, chipolatas, sausage in blankets, all of those things. The gammon.
Oh, you do a
Um,
gammon, do you?
I do a gammon. I never do it terribly well, but it ends up being okay. And
Mm.
I think it's because by that stage I'm unable to read a recipe.
I
It
was
all
going to say,
blurs.
yeah, I've done a gammon once, not at Christmas time. This was we did like a Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
Um, because Cara's got American family and we always do a little Thanksgiving nod. Though this year we went to
Oh.
Nando's because we really couldn't be bothered to do anything. And I did a gammon for the first time last year, and
Mm,
it's quite weird. You
mm.
boil it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't
I
that
was
weird? A weird
reading and
thing.
rereading this recipe like, no.
Yeah. It's such an odd thing to do to meat. It
Yeah.
feels very, very 1942, doesn't it, to be boiling
Yes.
meat. But
Boil it skimming off all that horrible stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
all of it's horrible, all of it, so it doesn't actually look appetizing until after you've then roasted it, right? But,
Yeah.
yeah, so
And you've also got to drench it in something, I think.
yeah.
Honey. Some people do like soak it in Coke and
Yeah,
stuff.
I think boiling it in Coke, that's a classic Nigella. I think I've done it in cider before, but then gagged at the smell of it. So I
Mm.
think I probably will do Coke this year, and then roast it with marmalade and cloves and things like that. Or, but I mean, yeah, I think you can choose any sweet sticky thing to go, like
Yeah.
molasses or like
Yeah.
things.
Anything that will
Um,
sort of give it that lovely little crusty thing. I do
yeah.
remember growing up, the ham we'd have on Christmas Eve being
Mm.
the thing. That was what you were like picking at all Christmas in the fridge.
Oh my God, yeah, and I think we had ours quite a lot on Boxing Day, that it would be the ham. We used to have mashed potato and red cabbage, and that was, like, the big
Yeah.
kind of I used to
Oh, we
love
had
that.
jacket potatoes, red cabbage. I think is it the Delia red cabbage as well? It's got like sort of.
Oh, Hol, things have changed, and I feel like I need to confess on the pod.
What?
Oh, well, so we were doing the proper Waitrose shop. We were replacing the Magnum last weekend
Yeah.
with all the
Yeah.
veg and
If you listen to this now, there's still time. Don't forget to replace your Magnum.
things. We were replacing it with all the bits and pieces. And Dave's mum quite rightly said to me, "I think you're the only one that eats the red cabbage, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." That doesn't mean that I don't want to have it, but I was like the smallest amount of like raw red cabbage you can buy is a half, isn't it? And
Yeah.
when you buy a half of a red cabbage, it still is medium-sized saucepan's worth
It's a
of
lot of
it's a
cabbage.
lot because you've got to add in all the apple and the
Yeah.
onion and everything else, and it does get quite big. Um, so she said, "Oh, look, in their kind of best range, there's one that's pre-prepared." And I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it, and in the end, I thought, actually, when I make it at home, I have 90% of it, and she'll have 10% of it, but she's unable to eat onion without dire effect, so I can't put onion in it. So
Oh,
there's something a bit missing when I make it at home,
okay.
whereas this pre-made one,
Doesn't have
stuffed with it.
onion.
No, it's stuffed
Oh,
with
stuff
onion.
with it.
Yeah, so at
Okay.
least it'll taste
Yeah.
oniony. So in the end, I was like, "Okay." So but I won't have the Delia smell in the house.
No, I'm a bit
Boo!
sad for you about that. If you want, I was about to
Yeah,
say you can come over,
and smell your
and have
saucepan.
and but you'll have, I'm sure it will fill the kitchen when you're heating up that lovely red cabbage. And I am really rethinking my whole feast mentality and starting to be like, what are the easiest ways we can all cut corners this Christmas? My
Yeah.
godmother, big
Mm,
inspiration for me at Christmas. She'll be like, get the roasties pre-done and heat them up, get like everything, make
mm.
everything as easy as you can because it makes the day so
I
much
do
nicer. So I've
I
ditched
definitely
stuffing. No stuffing, I'm afraid.
we're having stuffing, but it's Paxo, and
Yeah.
oh, no, I think we might have gone up just a little grade. It's still pre-made,
Mm,
you know,
mhm.
um, but lots of stuff I do the day before, and definitely the potatoes get their first roast the day before, and they get a second roast on the
I
day.
remember we talked about this last Christmas.
Yeah.
This year, I'm deciding that mine are getting their first boil the day before.
Yes, perfect,
And
yep.
then I think I'm going to leave them. Honestly, I'm probably going to have to put things in the shed
Yeah.
because I'm worried that there's not going to be, we've got a small fridge. So I
Mhm.
think it's going to have to be in the shed with them overnight. Hope no animals eat them. They'll be fine. Um, and then I think I've been debating whether to say this on the podcast because I know my mother-in-law listens, and I know anybody who's actually eating my roast is going to find this very weird because I found it very weird. But have I told you that I'm going to potentially do clotted cream roast potatoes?
No, you haven't. I've heard of Marmite roast potatoes. I've not heard of clotted cream roast
Right.
potatoes.
It sounds utterly bizarre, but I've
Yeah.
been watching this woman doing this thing where she tests all sorts of different fats. So she gets the same potatoes.
Yeah.
She cuts them in the same way. She pre-boils them for the same amount of time. She fluffs them up and seasons them in the exact same way. But
Yeah.
the fat that she's cooking them in is different every time. So
Yeah.
she sort of judges what is the best fat to cook your roast potatoes in. And as a veggie household, we've always done olive oil, which I think is fine, but it doesn't really get hot enough that you can kind of like
It doesn't.
really get them
Yeah.
properly crispy.
Mhm.
So I've been watching this woman, and the most viral and most popular one she's done was
Mm.
was roasting the potatoes in clotted cream.
Mental.
And I thought that was mental. But then I spoke to my friend who's a baker,
Yeah.
and she sort of went, "That's mental." And then she thought about it and she was like, well, no, because actually it's a fat and this would be the boiling point of it. And this would, so she was like, yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah.
that would work, like lard or something.
Yeah, so it's
And
so I know someone that roasts their potatoes entirely in butter, and that's,
mm,
like, one step away, isn't it?
yeah, kind of. So
Mm.
it's probably like artery cloggingly, toxic for us,
Yeah, but
but
better or
it's
worse than goose
Christmas.
fat? It is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I did do a trial run
And?
and they worked really well in terms of how crispy they got.
Yeah.
Um, I will say that there was a slightly sweet flavor to them.
Yeah.
So I think if I'm gonna do it again, I really, really need to season them.
Mm.
And I didn't bother because it was just me and Doug on like a Monday night, and I was doing them as a trial.
Yeah.
So if I for actual Christmas Day, I'll I don't know. I was even thinking of confying some garlic.
Oh, good God.
That would probably be lush in there. It's
Yeah.
basically going to be whatever I can be asked to do. But I think if I stick to the clotted cream method, I'm going to need
Mm.
to do them. I'm going to need to really season them because they were a little bit sweet. But
Yeah.
then on Christmas Day, you cover it all in gravy anyway, don't you? And
Yeah.
so it'll
Yeah.
probably be fine.
Yeah,
Um,
I must admit, I don't over season. I don't put too much salt on the potatoes because of the gravy situation.
yeah, I
'Cause the
don't
gravy's always really
normally.
salty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, so
So
much
we'll
running
see.
content, so much
But
running
so
content.
much
It's
running content. Okay, right. We have done 11 and a half minutes of Christmas dinner chat. Shall we talk about our running? How is yours?
oh, Hol. Yeah, it's okay. I've started my Cooper training thing.
Oh, I know you
What?
have.
Do you?
Yeah, because we told our lovely live group that we had our Christmas party with on Monday, but we haven't told the main pod.
Oh, no, we haven't.
No. We accidentally ran together on Sunday.
We did. Yeah. Ah, yes, we did. It was lovely. I was going for a slightly grumpy, well, we'll say the same story, shall we?
Mm.
I was going for a slightly grumpy, I've been told by Cooper I was supposed to be doing a 40-minute long run. And I thought, nah, I want to do 60. And I really needed to escape the house. It had been full on. It's been full on for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I just needed to go out. And I thought 40 minutes doesn't cut the mustard. So I was doing that and cheating slightly. Went down and I was slightly later than I would normally go
Yeah.
because my mother-in-law has been staying over, so I had to wait for her to go. So yeah, a bit later than normal. And I trotted down to the canal path, and I'd gone about a mile and a half before suddenly a vision appeared before me.
I know. And weirdly, I kind of knew it was going to happen. You're right. You were going a bit later than you would normally. And I think that did kind of cross my mind as well. I thought, oh, maybe she won't be. But I did
Mm,
think I never run on a Sunday morning, really. I guess sometimes, but it's not necessarily part of my routine every Sunday to run.
mm.
Um, but I hadn't had time for my long run on a Friday. I think I'd been feeling a little bit under the weather. And I decided that I'd do it over the weekend. So did it on a Sunday. Had a little feeling that I thought, I'm going to be running along the canal path here. And I know who else is probably running along the canal path doing their long run on a Sunday. And I was having the opposite, where I was doing I was supposed to be doing 6 miles.
Yeah,
But because I'd been feeling a little bit under the weather and I knew that I had an interval run that was quite chunky the next day,
yeah,
I was saying do 4 and any more you do as a bonus.
yeah.
So I'd had the exact opposite as you. But then I bumped into you, ran along with you for a bit, and we were having such a nice time that 6 miles felt 6 miles. I sickened myself saying this. What have I become? But it did feel really easy and lovely.
Yeah, it was really nice, and
Yeah.
it was just the right kind of pace for me. I needed to do it really slowly. I've still got that kind of weird hip glute feeling. It is getting a bit better.
Hmm.
And I think, yeah, it did help. And it was, yeah, it's lovely. It just takes your mind off it when you're sitting there kind of just entrenched in your own thoughts kind of thing. And to
Yeah.
just be chatting to you, that was lovely. I can see why people do it.
I can too. It was
It
so
turned
nice.
out.
It just meant that when you finally hit that dissociation in a
Mm,
long run and you go, oh, thank God I just spent the last 20 minutes completely away with the fairies and it's so nice.
yeah.
it was, but I just basically had that for like the whole time. Like I wasn't paying any attention to our mileage or really to even where we were on the canal path. I was just loving chatting away to you. And I think we both needed a little bit of a like, oh, this is everything that's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That sounds
exactly
very
that.
cryptic. Just, normal stresses.
Oh god, yeah, yeah,
But
absolutely. I mean,
mm,
on the rare occasions that I've run with Laura, like the first time I did that, not the first time, when we were doing that sort of 20-mile circuit around Bath, and it was so kind of empty. There were so few people doing it at that time and going in the direction that we were doing it. It was just us two running along the canal path in exactly the same way. And I
yeah.
still remember her saying, "Right, where should we start?" Because we knew that we had like 5 hours. It's
Yeah.
like, and it's so easy to talk when you're not looking at someone in the eyes, for me.
Yeah.
And so
No,
it
I agree. I think there's so much less pressure on it being like great chat because it's just accompaniment. I mean, to be honest, much like this podcast,
yeah.
it's just noise.
It's
And
just noise,
but
but
it's
it does
really
mean
nice to get it out and to
yeah.
keep each other company.
I do feel like that, and I also feel like it's a way in which you can sometimes you can say sort of quite kind of revealing things or meaningful things or kind of heartfelt stuff that you would not necessarily say. I think it's like I have this now at the moment, like when I go for a walk or for a couch to 5K run with Ted, like it's definitely a time at which I know everyone talks about it, but it's definitely a really easy time for him to open up to me.
Yeah, that's
and
really nice.
and it's lovely, yeah, when me and you were running along, it's just easy to go, "Oh god, this." So it's, yeah, that was really lovely. But yeah, so I did that, and I've been kind of, then I had a kind of steady run, I think, yesterday. But every time that there's, a long, easy run or a steady run on Cooper, I don't have it coming through my watch because otherwise I get lots of notifications through my headphones saying too slow, too fast, too slow, too fast.
Yeah.
And if I'm just doing one pace, I have that turned off, and then I kind of plug it back in when I've got home again. But
Yeah.
tomorrow, well, two things. One, I'm supposed to be running with Rachel,
Who we
um,
bumped into on
who we
the
bumped
canal
into.
path run.
So that will be lovely. But also, I'm supposed to be doing an interval session. So, what I'm thinking of doing is because the run with Rachel is more important to me than the interval session, is I might do 2 runs back to back. Do you think that's okay?
What do you mean? One straight after the other?
No, I'm going to run on Thursday and possibly run on Friday.
I think as long as you're feeling okay in the gluten and hip and stuff department, then it's like see how you feel after the run with Rach.
Yeah,
But I think that's fine. I've had to do that this week. It just kind of happens a bit, doesn't it? I ran 3 days in a row, which I wouldn't normally do,
yeah,
because similarly, I had my run with you, then I had an interval session, and then I'm living vicariously through all the marathon runners at the moment. Lex said, "It's my first run of my marathon training block. Do you want to come with me?" And I was
yeah.
like, it wasn't exactly what I was supposed to be doing on my plan, but I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'd rather do it with you.
How do
So I
you
did.
I've not asked you, how do you feel about there not being a spring marathon currently in your calendar?
I feel absolutely fine about it, but I didn't, I have to admit. I felt a
Mm,
bit sad and a bit jealous, and I think around about now, I would be feeling quite jealous, and I will be, I'm sure, having mega FOMO
yeah,
in April. But I know that we've got another goal
yeah.
in autumn time, which don't know, can't remember whether we've said about on the podcast. I think we have.
We haven't said where, we've just said
Okay, we've
when.
just hinted to it. Well, I know we've
Mm,
got another goal coming up, so I think I'll just cling to that.
yeah,
And I feel very satisfied at the moment with my current thing that I'm doing, which is just trying to get faster,
mm,
which is consuming my every waking moment. And I think without that training plan, I would be feeling a bit like, oh, what am I doing with myself? But
yeah,
the 10K thing was such a nice confidence boost for me because, like, obviously the half marathon that we did in Western work went really well, but there was
yeah,
still a little part in the back of my mind that sort of was like, did I just have a bit of a fluky day?
yeah,
Um, where like it did just feel like one of those runs where everything felt easy from the
Yeah.
off. And so doing the 10K was a real nice reminder after what had felt like a bit of a disappointing experience with pace and stuff during the marathon,
Mm.
that if I train and if I go for it and if I, put my mind to it, then I can achieve a time that I would have found really tough otherwise, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm enjoying the satisfaction of the completionist in me is enjoying that. So I've set myself, get ready, everybody, to do a big puke in your hands. The goal of a sub 2 hour half.
Oh my god.
I've put it to be the bath half, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We might see whether I do, like, I don't know, whether I do it a week before, a week after, or something. If I'm worried about not enjoying the day with all of you guys, but
Mm.
I kind of might as well give it a go as well, I think, and just see whether I can get it during the bath half. It's quite good race conditions for me, I think. So
Yeah,
I
I
know it
think it
all
is.
well, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking of, and my plan is brutal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's definitely going to keep me busy,
Yeah.
and it basically, times quite nicely with everybody else's marathon training. And because it's so savage, I'm running quite similar distances. Like, my long run this week was longer than yours or Lex's.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to do 8 miles on Friday as my long run. And then
Bloody hell.
the following week I go up to 10, and then from there it's basically dancing around 10 and 12 until the day. So
Oh my
it's going to
god.
be quite horrible,
Yeah.
but I'm quite excited about it. Like, marathon training this time last year, it was tough over the Christmas period,
Yeah.
but also, hot take, it's
Mm.
quite it's quite nice starting your marathon training around Christmas because the novelty's there and you've got the time. So you're kind of like, oh, I'm off today. Let me do a lovely little run. I'm so excited about my marathon. And it's all still quite low stakes,
Yes.
building up, not too intense. And
Yeah.
then come January, I really, really enjoyed that, like, feeling of just like locking in, and
Yeah.
everything's bleak, everything's a bit shit. You're back to work, you're back to routine, but it just gave me this, like, drive and this purpose that I'm hoping is going to be
Yeah.
replicated with the half marathon plan.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. I think it's exactly that. It's kind of it's having because I find January so bleak, so hard to wade through, and having that thing as that kind of overriding goal is something that kind of really does lift you out. It doesn't necessarily kind of perk you up, but it certainly gets you through
Yeah.
because you have to tick those things off, and that sort of gamification thing of the Cooper app actually um, really, really, really helps, doesn't it? Because
Yeah.
also for me, I think it's the added bonus of having now got access to a gym, because I think in previous years when I've been training, I would get so worried around that. And I know it seems like it's such a nana worry, but it's like, oh, it's going to get really cold, really frosty. How am I going to get to my runs? How am I going to do it?
Yeah.
And it seems so pathetic, but living on a side of a hill and, when I get down to the bottom of the hill, it turns out it's a bit of a microclimate if it's really, really cold. And so up
Mm,
where we live, it's freezing and frosty and you can't get down to the local kind of shop without falling on your ass. But actually but right on the bottom, in the middle of Bath, it's completely fine and dry and stuff. But it's just getting there. And I
yeah.
find it such a worry because I'm so unsteady on my feet. That sounds so pathetic.
No,
But I
no,
always
no,
I
but
always have been. It's not an
yeah.
age thing. I've always been someone that falls over. So I've always been really worried about it. In fact, can I talk about that just for a sec? Not the falling over, the different kind of injury, right? Like, so I've been battling this kind of ridiculous kind of bum hamstring thing.
Yeah.
But I think we should talk about the fact that there are two, in my head, there are two kinds of injuries. One which sort of comes on, is sort of muscular, like under the skin stuff that happens through overuse, right?
Mhm.
So whether that's a calf muscle just like going like that, or it's like what I've got at the moment, which is a kind of slightly grumbly kind of muscle tendony thing. And so you get that side of things, which can be dramatic, or it just can be a kind of a slow, grumbly thing.
Yeah.
Um, but the other sort of injury, the impact injury, and I know that happens quite a lot in trail for obvious reasons. There's more stuff to trip on and fall over and stuff like that. But I was thinking about that this morning because, like an idiot, and I was rushing around. I was just saying to you off pod,
Sorry,
doorbell.
I was slightly distracted there because I could see the van pull up. It's the waterman.
Oh,
I'll be 2
exciting.
seconds.
Okie doke.
Okay.
So
Sorry
yeah,
about that.
that's okay. Where was I? Yes, the other injury, impact injuries. Right. So, and that's because, as I was saying to you off pod, at the moment, I'm running around like a headless chicken and literally running. So I've got to that point in the year, as I was saying to Hole just before we started, where I'm running between rooms in my house. Just running. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm a runner, right? That's what you do. But it feels like I have so much to do that I'm running up and down stairs, running between rooms, running to
Yeah.
get the kettle, running to do this. Really silly. So rushing, rushing, rushing. And you know those wooden steps that everyone's got from IKEA with a little handle in the middle of it? Have you got one of those that you can stand on to get things from a cupboard? It's just
Oh,
like a one.
yeah.
So I use it as a
Yeah.
stool. I actually sit on it
Mhm.
in the kitchen as my stool while I'm working. Anyway, it's right in the wrong place, and I just ran straight into it, kneecap on corner of school,
No.
and it was so painful I couldn't even cry, and Dave wasn't there. I was just going, "Ah, ah, ah," like this,
Oh, and
raging
grabbing it.
and grabbing it, and then but every
Yeah.
time I rubbed it, it was worse kind of thing. Anyway, that was,
Oh,
what, an
dear.
hour ago? Just before we started
Oh, no,
recording.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
God.
I can feel it now. I've done something really grim. Well, I've just bruised it. I've just bruised it. I haven't broken anything or anything, but I've bruised it, and it feels slightly significant. And
Oh, no.
what I guess I'm gonna have to try and remember when we're talking about me doing, whatever run it is I do tomorrow, is I'm gonna, by tomorrow morning, have forgotten that I've run
Yeah.
into an IKEA stall, but my legs won't have forgotten it. And when you do that sort of impact thing, it can really affect everything about the way that you run, can't it? And it's a bit like, you know, London Marathon, I had a black toenail on one
Mm.
toe from the day before. And I think that was the beginning of everything.
Yeah.
And there was that time when I
Yeah.
got that
It
terrible injury.
was.
Yeah, it was. It really was for me. And like years ago, I got some awful injury on my right-hand side, which was sparked by, I don't know if you remember this, dropping a book on my left foot.
I remember it well. That was immediately what I thought when you said the sort of impact injuries. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I gave that book to the charity shop because I was so cross with it.
Mhm.
I was so
No,
angry
this
with
is
it.
peak time for me to start doing stuff like this. I mean, do you remember when I didn't do the Berlin half because I fell down the stairs?
I do. Mm.
Like, that is exactly the kind of thing that is bound to happen to me at this time of year because I'm rushing around. I know what injury I'm gonna get. I normally try very hard to grab onto the rail when I go down our stairs because they are quite steep, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna be running down with laundry.
Yes.
So I won't have a hand, and I'm going to slip, and I'm
Yep.
gonna hurt my coccyx. I know it. It's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Festive tradition. But yeah, let's all take a breath because
Take a
even
breath.
though there's a lot to do, even though I appreciate it's a stressful time.
Yeah.
It's never it's like in MasterChef, John Torode always says it to them. He'll be like, uh, calmly but quickly or something where it's sort of, it's like hurry slowly or something people say,
Yeah.
don't they?
Less
Yeah.
haste, more speed, more less hate, less speed, more anyway,
Yeah.
stop
Yeah.
fluffing around like I was doing with your hair on fire and just walk quickly kind of thing, I think is the thing,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I
Um,
need to do a bit of that because I'm a bit of a panicker and I know I'm gonna be running about hungover or a
yes.
couple of glasses of prosecco down, more likely
Yeah.
this time of year,
Yeah.
and, carrying big loads of laundry or armfuls of wrapping paper or something and just
Yeah.
tripping
And
around.
running down the stairs because the doorbell's gone and finding yourself flat on your face or on your arse or something
Yeah.
and just,
Yeah.
oh. Um but I mean, a lot of the rushing around is because there's been, and I know lots of people hopefully will relate to this. There's just life is, as they say, lifing. There's just a lot of family stuff that I'm having to kind of juggle. There's lots of kind of work stuff that we're having to consider and juggle. We've
Mhm.
got so much on, haven't we, the two of us? Um, and then you're trying to fit in the running and Christmas and all of those things. And like like last night, you were texting me about an additional podcast that we're going to be releasing
Oh,
in
yeah.
January,
Mhm.
and I was trying not to look at my WhatsApps because I was sat in a church
So
watching
sorry. That was
watching Felix.
sacrilegious of me.
It was
Mm.
naughty to Jesus, and I was watching a nativity performance by Felix, trying to spot her. She was this year, year 6. Year 6, they are given the task of not taking on the lead roles because of
Ah.
SATs. So because of that, it's always year 5 that does all the kind of Mary Joseph stuff. And Felix was one of 30. No, I believe. Oh yeah, no, she was one of 30 sheep. Um,
Okay.
and she had a onesie, so she was quite pleased with herself. And so there she was, and as a sheep. But I don't know if you ever had this or you remember this from when you were at school, because it certainly wasn't like that. When I did nativity at primary school, it was nativity, right? It was just the story with some carols.
Um, well, it was interesting. I was just thinking about that when you were talking about it because I remember having to sing a solo in a nativity as a child, and I think I was an angel. And it was like, and the song was like, "There's something special going on, and we don't know what it is." So that's not traditional. And I remember another one where, sorry, wow, this is flooding back to me. It
Here
was
we
like
go.
EMDR. There was I remember being a Christmas pudding and going, "Christmas pudding is my name. I come in different sizes. Put me on a silver plate. I'm full of surprises." So definitely we did some bollocks because
Okay. Yeah.
that all of those memories. But
Mm.
most years I remember being an angel because I was blonde.
Yeah, I was an angel. I think I was
Mm.
only in it once. But yeah, I was an
Really?
angel.
It wasn't compulsory?
I think they might have chosen one class a year or something like that.
Really? Oh, fair
Yeah.
enough. I guess there's not that many characters.
No, yeah. So
But
yeah, I remember
we would
whenever.
have 30 sheep, 45 angels, because
Oh,
everybody wants to see
really?
their little
Of course they do.
person
Of
in the
course they
nativity,
do.
don't they?
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, and so this year for Felix, her nativity was called Bethlehem Bake Off. So they
Fun. See, we weren't doing
very
fun
fun.
stuff like that. Like,
It
maybe
was
there was a little kooky bit, but that's that sounds like a great parody that I'd like to watch.
it was really good fun. They had so they did actually they had someone dressed up as Prue Leith, some poor little year 5, and she was wearing like glasses and a big necklace. And they
Oh,
had
that's so good.
but they all had sort of comedic versions of their names. For some reason, whoever was playing the version of Paul Hollywood had a turkey on his head. I don't know why that was. We just
Funny though.
whatever. And then there was a Noel. Um, yeah. So anyway, they had all those things, and
Oh,
I
that's great.
can't.
Noel is perfect. Paul, I guess you could have Paul Nazareth, Paul Bethlehem.
I have no idea how it worked, and I
Oh,
couldn't. I
so
was.
good.
We were quite near the back, and so my my kind of understanding of the narrative is quite weak, I'm afraid. But it sounded very much as if that when the census was being collected, there was also
Mhm.
cakes were involved at this point as well, and they were all being judged.
Okay.
Um, so this was happening. The guy, the kid that was playing the poor Hollywood character had to judge these cakes at one point, and they bought like a baguette or something. And so he goes to, and I think Felix tells me afterwards that what he'd normally do was pretend to eat the baguette. In
Yeah.
this instance, he just took a great big bite of it. So they said, "Right, Paul, what do you think of this?" And he took a massive bite, and he just and huge. With the church that we're in is massive. It's a really, really big, incredible church. And there was like 500 people in the audience, and you got sort of 300 people sort of being sheep and whatever. And he was down the front, mic'd up, and you could hear.
Incredible.
And then he had to move away for a bit and then come back a bit. It went on for a full 1.5 minutes, and then he went.
Oh my God, he's a future
He was
Eric
amazing.
Morecambe.
And then he just went,
Yeah.
"It's a bit dry." So that was hilarious.
Oh,
I know, really good.
amazing.
Really
I
good.
would love this is really creepy, but,
Mm.
like, I really want to go to nativities and children's plays even though I haven't got children.
Well,
That's so creepy.
I said
I
to
just
Dave
really
afterwards,
like them, I find it so funny.
it's so nice. I did say afterwards, we're gonna have to just come back when the kids are too old to come to this school, because they won't
Yeah.
do it in secondary. Because there was the brilliant time when it was a few years ago, and it was Ted's nativity, and he had a classmate who was playing Mary, who was
Mhm.
kind of trudging up and down the aisle with a pillow stuffed up her front to look like she was pregnant. And at one point, when they had to sit down, she whipped the pillow out and sat on it because it was a really cold flagstone floor, not because it was
Oh,
a
that's so
baby, but because she
good.
wanted something comfy to sit on. So yeah, those sorts of things you really want to remember, don't you? And then
Yeah.
what was lovely about this one as well, the church has got the most brilliant vicar who we absolutely love. And he's Reverend Philip. Shout out Reverend Philip from this
Mm.
church. He's amazing. I think it's true that he used to be like a runner on CBeebies or something, but he is so good, and he's so good with
Mhm.
kids. And anyway, so he comes on after all of this, after the Bethlehem Bake Off, and he says, "Oh, I love the fact that we're talking about nativity and Bethlehem, and we're also talking about baking." He said, "These are two of my favourite subjects." And he said, "My sourdough is world renowned." He said, "In fact," he said, "my sourdough starter is 14 years old, and I've got it in the fridge at home." And he said, "And I called it Balthazar, and because it comes from the yeast."
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh,
I know.
that's great.
And we're like, "Oh, Reverend Phil
Oh, I
just
love
smashed it out of the
Reverend
park
Phil.
again." He's
So I'm so
amazing.
jealous. Who will let me come to their nativity? I promise I'm normal. I find it so wholesome and funny. And that does make me think if I don't have my own kids, I will really miss that. I really
Yeah.
I need to see their plays. So was it a bit weird it being Felix's last primary school? I'm not gonna try and make you cry, but
Yeah, it was a bit weird, but it helped that they didn't have substantial roles and that they were just one of many, many sheep. And
yeah.
she was a bit not embarrassed, but very self-conscious about being there and having to
Mhm.
do the singing stuff and things. So I think what will definitely make me cry is the Christmas service, which is on Friday. And that, I think, yeah, that's gonna be a really tough one. In past years, that has made me fully cry, and it wasn't even the last year. We had
Aw.
that amazing kind of like, it's almost like a Love Actually moment when all the teachers stood up and started singing Shakin' Stevens, and that was a moment where
Oh,
all
that's
the parents
sweet.
were just weeping because it
Yeah.
was so lovely. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if they'll ever top that experience, which was a few years ago, but yeah, that'll probably make me cry. All of it will make me
Yeah.
cry this year, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess the good thing on the horizon is if Ted and Felix are into doing plays,
Yeah.
secondary school one's probably gonna be cracking.
I really hope so. I really hope so. I really hope that Felix continues to do stuff like that, because
Yeah.
it is lovely. Did you continue to act throughout your secondary school?
Do you think I did?
Yes, I think you did.
Of course I did. Of course I did. Ours was always Christmas actually as well, our big play of the year. Like it
Yeah,
always was just before Christmas. I guess end of the year you got exams to contend with and stuff, haven't you? Bit like the year
yeah,
sixes, you're
yeah.
consumed by SATs. So
Yes.
um we did Jesus Christ Superstar.
Who were you?
That was a classic. I was one of the women, one of the gals. Can't remember who
I
the
don't know
characters
why
are.
I asked because I don't even know it, but anyway.
I was one of the people who sings the "Everything's all right, yes, do you remember that one?
No,
You're not very familiar with it. Fair. It's
no,
not one of my
sorry.
faves. Um, we did that one. Then it was quite hard. I remember just thinking the whole time, who decided we were gonna have to basically do like a sort of rock opera with all these boys who are like, I went to school in Wales. There were a lot of nice voices,
Yeah.
but I mean, getting a 16-year-old boy to like, you know, shriek like it was quite brutal. Um, then we did Les Mis. That was
You've talked about that
iconic.
before, and I remember
Yeah,
you
that
talking
was
about it because I don't really remember. I don't know the person you were.
no, I was Eponine. I was on my own. On
Oh.
my own. That one. Not like that. Back in the day though, quite nice. And that was amazing. There was a barricade on the stage and everything. Like that was so cool. Yeah, we used to go for it in our school with
Yeah,
music and drama stuff. So I really enjoyed being a part of it. But I did have an era where I thought I was a bit cool. And I don't think I did any acting in sort of middle school age.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And then as I got older, I was like, I don't care. I just want to do what I enjoy. But I did grades as well. So I did like, I don't know. I can't remember what you do. It was like monologues. You'd give monologues.
Yeah. Well, like, that's what
Yeah.
I did at I did theatre studies A level, and that was all monologue
Yeah.
and duologue and stuff like
I
that.
imagine,
Yeah,
yeah, it was a bit like that. Sometimes
yeah,
there was a duologue. Yeah,
mm,
that sort of thing.
yeah,
But I loved it. So hope that they get to be a part of some of that stuff
yeah.
because
Me
it's a
too.
bit like actually I think that is the equivalent of what I now love in the running community where like it feels quite individual what you're doing and you going away and learning your words and practicing
Mm,
your bit is on you, but also you feel like you're part of like a wider community thing, and that's always
yeah,
made me tick. And I think that's now what running is to me, something that I feel like I can work hard at, but and there's a bit of a performance element to it. Like you have a big day that you're like
mm,
training for, and then you feel like lots resting on it. But then it's nice to be part of a kind of community thing. And because I wasn't really sporty in school. That was
yeah.
my thing.
It's true, it's true. Very, very good segue, Hole. Um,
Thank you. I'm really trying now to bring it back.
Really good, well done. Well, I had a couple of questions to ask you actually because,
Mm.
um, this is the time of year and everyone sends all their kind of Spotify Wrapped and blah, 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 and
Oh
also
yeah.
Strava does its year in sport. I don't know if you've clocked any of that yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, firstly, because I know you're sort of cusping generations, aren't you? Kind of you're not quite millennial, are you? Or are you
I do actually, yeah, I feel quite left out of this debate or
Oh,
this sort of
really?
categorizing. Yeah, because I'm the last year of millennials
Yeah.
and the first year of Gen Z. So I think I can sort of choose, but I don't really feel like my school year straddles Gen
Mm.
Z and millennial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, it's interesting because the Strava year in sports stuff that I was looking at, it pits Gen X versus Gen Z. So I think maybe for the purposes of this, it can be me versus you.
Okay. Okay. Though who's Gen X? You?
Me.
I thought that was even younger people than us. No, they're children. They're not on Strava. Okay. Fair.
They're children.
I will be Gen Z for this, and I love this, and I'm excited about it already.
I think it goes alpha, doesn't it? Is it alpha after Gen Z?
Yeah, maybe it is.
Yeah, I'm Gen X because we're post boomer.
Sorry, the plumber is ringing me.
Oh, the plumber's ringing her.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Okay, back in the room after the plumber
Okay,
conversation. Right.
so sorry, everybody. I promise he's gone now, the lovely plumber, and I wished him a Merry Christmas. So for the sake of this, you are
Yeah.
Gen X.
Yeah.
I'm Gen Z.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to the millennials. They're not involved.
They're not involved. They're not involved.
Okay.
Um, so I've only got a couple of bits out of it, but it was quite interesting that these are the things that they're pitting against. I don't understand why we're the only two generations. It's really odd, but I guess they're choosing the youngest and the oldest of the people. But
Yeah.
like my dad goes to the gym and he is very much a boomer anyway.
Yeah.
But maybe these are the two biggest generational groups. Mind you, where's millennial? Anyway, Never
Yeah,
mind.
you'd think millennials are all over Strava.
They're just there. Maybe it's because they're there's a biggest gap between them. If you start getting millennials in there, then it all gets a bit wishy-washy,
Maybe
doesn't it?
there's not enough variation and yeah, they're sort of bridging
Yeah.
the gap. Okay.
Okay. So, so this is just to do with Strava, not any other kind of platform. But okay, so they're pitting Gen Z versus Gen X. So one of these generations says that their main motivation for exercise is a race or event. Which one do you reckon?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that's Gen Z.
Mhm.
That one could be either. I'll be surprised whichever one it isn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought
It
that would be
is.
everybody's.
No, you're right. It's Gen Z. Gen Z is 75% more likely than Gen X to say their main motivation is a
Really?
race or an event. Yeah.
What do you think Gen X is saying? Just like general fitness or mental health or something?
Yeah. Maybe we're still
Yeah,
tying ourselves up in knots about weight loss. I don't know.
maybe.
I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that kind of checked because
Yeah.
I said that that would be my main motivation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, right. Which generation says that their weight training is their primary sport?
Well, it should be Gen X,
Mm.
but it's Gen Z.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely
Mhm.
right. Twice as likely. Twice as
Mhm.
likely. So, um, So, so then they had a kind of a weird little thing, which was about, dating and spending, right?
Okay.
So this is just about Gen Z, so this is just a fact rather than a question.
Mhm.
64% of the people that responded on Strava, let's make that clear, of Gen Z said they'd rather spend money on fitness gear than on a date. Does that sort of what about you and your friends? Does that sound right? Are people spending more money on, like, gym stuff than
Well,
going out and having fun?
I guess I'm oh, yeah, I suppose if you think about dating your partner, I
Mhm.
think because I am more cusping millennial, most of my friends are in long-term relationships or married or whatever
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But of single friends, yeah, actually, they probably do spend more money on fitness stuff or on like uh races abroad or, you know,
Yeah.
things like that than they do on dates. Um, but then I guess if you're talking about like dating the person that you are together with, so like
Yeah.
for me, would that be like going to the cinema with Doug or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I probably spend more on fitness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think if I'm honest, it's a bit sad. And
Yeah.
I pulled a bit of a face when you said that because I thought, oh, what a boring generation. But actually, I think I do spend more money on that stuff than I do on
Yeah.
like going out for meals or whatever.
But it also says that, 39% more Gen Z than Gen X use fitness to meet people who share their interests. So you'll
Yeah.
do you think
That
that
I'm not surprised by. I do feel like that's a real trend over the last couple of years,
yeah,
especially in that Gen X group that like people are
this is Gen
using
Z.
sorry, Gen Z, people who use run clubs as like dating apps and stuff. I think that's a little bit more unique to living in cities though, or
Yeah.
maybe going to like university or something.
Yeah.
Where you join a club or you're part of an athletics group or you are in a run club or you go to a posh gym or something. I don't think necessarily where I am
Mhm.
in outskirts of Bath, that's what people are using. That still seems to me like quite an individual
Yeah.
sport.
It's interesting, isn't it? Like, the way that things have changed, because if I think about, like, when I was dating in my early 30s, early to mid 30s, I was doing things like, right, I was using Match, which I don't think exists anymore, um, and I was using Guardian Soulmates again, which I'm not entirely sure exists anymore.
Mhm.
And the thing about Guardian Soulmates was that you felt like, or one felt like, one was ticking off a few boxes before you even started. So you thought, right, okay, kind of, I know this is not a political podcast, but I was like, politically, you kind of know where you're going from if you're doing Guardian
Mhm.
Soulmates-ish, roughly. Um, and there's something about trying to find someone in the back pages of a broadsheet newspaper that you sort of think, right, okay, so you don't really have to get into the nuts and bolts of, do you read things? And, like,
Yeah.
you kind of, you're a few of the things you just think, well, there's going to be some similarities across the board if you do. Anyway, Guardian Soulmates, actually, to be fair, was shite. Um, and Match.com was much,
Was the one.
there were just more people on it.
Yeah.
Um, but I do feel like, were I to start dating now, I can completely see about using the fitness thing first, because
Yeah, to
it's
be
such a
honest,
huge part of
same.
my life. It's so massive. Also, I think the kinds of people that we meet, right? And I know most of the people, I'm straight, and I know most of the people that we meet are women, but
Mhm.
most of the people that we meet in this industry, whether they're men or women, but mostly women, all seem to be very, very lovely people. And there does seem to be commonalities, right? Because of the structuring your day around your training,
Yeah.
the kind of the love of kind of resetting your mind a little bit, the kind of the need, the feel that you need to be out there to doing these things, and the kind of the goal driven aspect of it, and the community aspect of it, which means that instead of going from a kind of political side of like, oh, they read, and they read this sort of newspaper, and they read books and blah blah blah, it's more like, this is what you like to do in the first hour of your day. And I
Yeah,
I
you
would definitely go down that.
if you're looking to, like, meet someone long term, then just knowing that they've got, like, a similar lifestyle to you,
Yeah.
I do think that that is quite nice. Like, I I adore Doug, and I'm so glad that I met him.
Mm.
But, and I guess that's the thing, is that it's weird because I wouldn't meet him if I were looking fitness first now, because he
Yeah,
wouldn't be doing anything like that, and that makes me really sad. Probably same with you and Dave.
absolutely the same, yeah.
But, so I don't think a soulmate it makes automatically,
No, no.
but I
But you
think,
can definitely see why people would do
yeah,
that. Yeah.
I can see why someone would be like, it's really nice to share that with your partner and to have that kind of, like, companionship with that stuff,
Yeah.
especially if you have, well, I was about to say especially if you don't have friends that do it, but actually probably even more so if you do, because you know they're gonna fit in with your friends. And
Yeah.
the only thing that it does make me a tiny bit sad about is sometimes I worry that we're going towards, like, utility over sort of anything else. Is it a little bit sort of, well, I get up and I like doing this thing in my life, and so if I can find someone that slots into all of that, when that
Yeah.
isn't really how love works. Like, I can see how you can find love through that,
Yeah.
but just because somebody is into the same stuff as you, or has a similar lifestyle, or has a similar routine, actually really doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna get on with them and fancy them and have a vibe with them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
And in
I'm
fact, it can
going
work
back and
in.
forth. Would
Yeah,
I would I do it? I don't know. Maybe that would be a great way for me to make friends. I don't know whether I would actually want to choose my partner based on whether they also
yeah.
do sport.
I mean, I definitely would. I think, I mean, it's really difficult to put yourself in a position of a different person, but I feel like, were I to be single now, one of the first things I would do would be to sign up to a run club, um, just to have that kind of social interaction,
Same.
to meet people that were like me.
Yeah.
But it would
And
be a
that's
social.
not romantically as well for
No,
me, I think. That would just
no.
be a thing that I think I would want to do.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely that. It's just to have that kind of the social interaction, and also knowing that the kind of run clubs I would be wanting to join wouldn't be track runs, it would be social runs.
Yeah.
So you're going to be more women there anyway, in any case.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I think I would do that. So I do feel like I probably would be someone who would try and use all those, the fitness stuff, the health stuff, the stuff that we're now into. I would use that as my kind of my first three things,
Yeah.
if I were to have to write my profile now, which would be very different from sort of 20 years ago.
I know.
Um,
Same.
which is interesting, really.
Same. It's
Mm,
kind of weird to think, isn't it?
yeah.
I think, I do like the concept of these apps that, like, let you meet someone based on, like, shared interests. Like, Doug was actually looking because, we're going through our second wind as ravers at the moment, and we're loving going out together.
Yeah.
lots of our friends are not having that. They, they are getting married, or they've got dogs, or they've got, they're more interested in having like a cozy weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
Totally also love that too. But Doug found this app that you can meet other people who are your age that want to go to similar like nights out as you, or see similar music as you, or
Oh,
and
okay.
you
Yeah.
just fill in what your kind of musical tastes are and things like that, and then it links you up, and you can set it to friendship or romantic. And I kind of like that idea. Again, I think maybe more for the friendship thing, that
Yeah.
if you move to a new city and you're like, I know I want to go running, or I know I like listening to techno or whatever,
Yeah.
you can immediately find someone who will do that thing with you. And even if it results in nothing other than a slightly awkward, like, hello, it
Yeah.
gives you the confidence to start doing that socially, and to kind of make a little inroad into those kind of social groups and things, and then meet people, whether that's platonically,
Oh,
romantically, whatever,
yeah.
through that. I think that's where I could
Oh,
see it working.
that's so much nicer, isn't it? Because I think back to
Mhm.
those early those those bloody dates I went on in my 30s.
Yeah.
They were so, and I just got a little cold shiver now of thinking about that, of going into town and going to, like, all bar one and meeting up with, these various chaps and
Yeah.
having these deeply, deeply uncomfortable first dates, like, so many of them, and all of them were just as, like, anxiety inducing, and I was terrified before every single one and devastated after every single one, and
Mhm.
but if you were meeting instead a small group of people who liked one thing that you also liked, then you've immediately got
Great.
something to talk about, haven't you? Yeah, so I
Yeah,
think
and you're
yeah,
going into things friendship first, which, to be honest, for
yeah.
me has always worked anyway, because I'm not particularly confident in myself as a sort of, I don't know, sexy single suitor. I much prefer to, and I find it much easier to fancy people, to be honest, when you make a connection with them.
When you get to know them a bit more,
And then
yeah.
from there, you're kind of like, all right, yeah, you're really funny, or we really connect on this particular level, or
Yeah, yeah,
and so I think, yeah, maybe sport is the way. But if you're not going in there with any expectations of like, I'm going to meet the love of my life, instead
yeah,
going in there with an open mind as to meeting new people, that you can facilitate the fact that you want to do this thing, but you want to do it socially.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it is, also, I think it speaks volumes for the way in which running and running communities have changed, like, dramatically over the past kind of 20, 30 years, that there is no way on earth 20 years ago that I would have put the word sport or even the word running in any kind of dating profile of mine, for fear that I would meet, like, Steve Cram, that
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
would
That's, I think, what I'm a bit nervous about as well when we're talking about it.
yeah, because you just sort of think, if I'm you feel like you're what's the word? Like, that you don't belong, that
Yeah.
into the it's that which we talk about a lot here, don't we? That kind of, imposter syndrome of, do we belong in this running community when we are a slow runner, or we don't run huge distances, or we don't run very fast around a track, or our 5K
Mm.
PB isn't under 20 minutes or whatever, and you have that sort of feeling, so you might veer away from saying running as the top spot on your dating profile or your friendship profile or whatever. But actually, if it's taking up a significant portion of your life, if it is your first hobby, if it is something that you're doing for maybe 3 hours a week, like, it should be there, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
And then you meet someone. It doesn't really matter, obviously, it doesn't matter, and it should never matter how fast someone else is running.
Yeah.
But obviously we belong,
Yeah.
and obviously we should be putting it first. But, it's so weird, yeah, that all those years ago, even though I would have knocked out a good couple of half marathons by the time I was doing those
You
dating
wouldn't have
profiles.
put it.
No,
No,
no.
it's, I'm having a, like, feeling slightly faint, realizing that running has become my first hobby. Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah,
Actually, this segues quite nicely into a completely random thing that I wanted to share with you, because I was reading it this morning and it made me laugh.
go on then.
Like, icks.
Yes, I'm aware of them.
For anyone who doesn't know, though, I'm sure you all know what an ick is. Like the sort of thing, like weird and quite specific little turn-offs.
Yeah.
Um, I was just really interested, and I was reading what the biggest ones are, and I mean they're all quite obvious. Like for people into guys, it's actually not paying on the first date was the first one, which I thought was quite shocking. That wouldn't be an ick for me. If it was, it would be an ick if they just like didn't like, just let me pay without talking about it. Something lack of communication around it would be a bit of an ick
Yeah.
for me.
It
But
has
equally,
been
when what's the
mm,
deal here? Do you want to split? Do you want me to get it? Do you like if there was a conversation, then that wouldn't ick me.
yeah, it has icked me when I've been with boyfriends who have actively resisted paying for a round, that kind
Yeah,
of
no,
thing.
that is a bit icky, but
I hate
because
that.
it's not some sort of, "Oh, we want you to have a crazy amount of money because you're a man," or anything. It to me applies to anybody,
It's
and
anyone. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah.
generosity thing. It's like, stop trying to shirk the bill off to somebody else.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the most common for people who are into for guys, this does say for guys. I think that actually this is guys to girls here. It's all very
Mhm.
heteronormative. Too much interest in astrology. I can see why that wouldn't have come from the lesbians.
Too much into that it for me also is an ick.
Yeah,
I
is it? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
I
find it quite funny, but I love that it's up there. But the thing that really made me laugh was with these few that I read that were just really random ones, and they all made me laugh so much.
go on then.
So the way boys' swimming trunks inflate when they jump into a pool. This one I actually get running with a backpack on.
No!
It's giving year 7. Uh, an umbrella being turned inside out by the wind.
But that's not an ick.
No, that's not an ick. That's sometimes you can't help
No,
that.
you can't help it. Some people are really stupid with umbrellas, but no, that's
But
not an ick.
yeah, this is the worst thing for me. Like,
No.
how can we avoid this? Donning the cape you have to wear when you get your hair cut. I actually completely agree. That is an ick, but I don't know. There's nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing you can do about that. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Anyway,
That's so weirdly specific.
I know those really made me laugh this morning. Anyway, it was an unrelated read, but I just was like, I've got to save those for the pod because they're so funny. I particularly feel the boys' shorts inflating when they jump into a pool.
No, but that's unfair because I think all the rest of them are like I think when icks are icks, it's because of choices you've made, and you can't choose if your shorts are going to inflate or not. They just do.
No, but it's the same with the cape. I think it's like I get it. It wouldn't ick me enough to be like, I'm not going out with you anymore, or like
Yeah.
I don't fancy you anymore. But it'll be enough in the moment to go, I need to recover before I can be romantic with you again.
What, seeing someone wearing one of those capes?
Uh Maybe. Yeah, maybe. And definitely the shorts inflation.
Shorts and yeah,
Like
yeah, that
that
is
one. Imagine like right, imagine Dave jumped in a pool, shorts inflated, and then he sort of came up, flicked his hair back and tried to kiss you or something. Oh, hair. Immediately
I mean, yeah,
I've ruined the image.
as a bald man,
Yeah.
many of these things are tricky for him, I think. Oh
Well,
god.
there you go. A bit of a random way to
It is random.
maybe end. I kind of feel like we should end this episode on a bit more of a like a profound level. Like
Like what?
I don't
When are we
know.
ever profound?
I know. It just feels
Hmm.
like we can't end our last recording of the year by talking about boys' shorts inflating in swimming pools. I feel like I should ask you, what's your running high spot, low spot this year?
What a good idea, Hol.
Should
You're
we do
such a
that?
broadcaster. You're so
Oh,
professional.
thank you. Apart from the fact that I'm massively putting you
Mm.
on the spot because
You are a bit. Can you answer it first, do you think?
yeah, okay. I think my running low spot
Hmm.
has got to be my 16 miler in my London Marathon training. That's so specific, but
Really,
that's
isn't
where
it?
I got Billy the Blister.
Ah.
That's what one of the pod squatters affectionately called the wine gum blister.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's where I got that, and
Yeah.
it was just a classic case of, like, I'd done a half. We'd done the Bath half the week before. I was
Mm.
still tired and trying to make myself do that. It was really tough, and it made me go, I don't think I can do the marathon.
Yeah.
Um, my running high spot, this is really probably biased, like this is recency bias,
Mhm.
but I think it's not running my first ever marathon. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And that might be like, that whole training period might be like my running highlight of like my life, the fact that I did that. But
Yeah.
I think my actual, like, my run of the year
Mhm.
was probably my sub hour 10K. Like, I felt so good. Everything sort of fell into place and I felt like I was flying, and that was really nice. But I think my overall takeaway from running
Mhm.
this year is I'm really proud. Some runs are shit, some runs are good. That's always how it goes.
Yeah.
But I'm really proud of how consistent running has become for me um, over the last year, because I really feel like I've fallen in love with it this year in a way that I never have before.
Yeah, I'm proud of you for that too, because the things that you've achieved this year, and yeah, and the consistency, the way that you've stuck with it, because I could see it wasn't quite there. It wasn't quite there for you. Even like this time last year, it wasn't quite there for you.
No, I
So,
wanted it to be. Like, I
mm,
wanted to love it. And I feel like this year I've truly learned what it is to actually love it.
yeah.
And that's been really nice for me. Okay, what about you? You don't have to sort of go as long and spiely as I did, but feel free to.
Thanks. Low point, I'm actually gonna say London Marathon. I think it was I am so, so pleased that it wasn't my first. Um, I think maybe I would change. Maybe I'd say something different if it was my first, because the experience still is incredible. And I agree with you. The training, I was pleased with my training,
Mm,
and I'd enjoyed the training. I think mostly up to that point, and I felt pretty confident up until the day before.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, the day itself, the experience of it was very, very sad and upsetting. And I guess what
yeah,
I'm really, really looking forward to next year, touch wood, um, is going to be just reclaiming it and
yeah,
reclaiming that distance and stuff. But I mean, reclaiming the route, because my high point would have to be Trail Escape Marathon
yeah.
in October, which was it October or September? Anyway,
September, I think,
last week of
actually.
September, I think it was, wasn't it?
Mm,
Um, and that the Bristol to Bath route, which was absolutely gorgeous. It's such a beautiful route. I just would want to do it every month if I could. It's so, so lovely. The organisation was wonderful. Everything about it was great. And for me personally, it was doing it on my own with my headphones on and everything, but surrounded by a, s- a much smaller group of people, generally speaking,
mm,
than London Marathon. It was There's beautiful views. We had unexpectedly good weather, and I was able to reclaim the marathon distance and to think, actually, you know what? I fucking can do this. And I can
yeah,
actually, and that included going up and over the Cotswold Way. And I did it quicker than I did the London Marathon, like the whole, like, and there was determined walking, but it was, yeah, it was just wonderful. And I felt after that, I felt after 6 months later or whatever it was, I felt as though, it's all okay. Don't worry. I know I
yeah,
can do this. It's not like the end isn't nigh or anything.
yeah,
And it was really nice because, after the London Marathon, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna try and run the marathon distance before the summer holidays or whatever." I never did. Really pleased I didn't.
mhm,
Because all I did was just lick my wounds, take a breath, do a bit more strength, start building up again, went to Trail Escape, and had an absolute ball. So if anyone is looking to sign up to anything next year, I would fully recommend a bit of Trail Escape. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. So that
Yeah.
definitely my high point. Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
that's
I've
really
rambled too.
lovely. No, I like that. That's also a bit of a full circle. It's got a message. Your high point and low point have got a message.
Yeah, they
I
have a little
like
bit.
that. Well, what a year. And I'm so
Mm.
excited for what's to come next year, but we're not leaving you high and dry over Christmas. As we've said, you've got 2 lovely special interview episodes coming your way on Christmas Day and New Year's Day.
I mean, we're amazing, aren't we?
I
How does that?
know.
Oh God, I'm so proud of us.
I'm so proud of us, and I'm so proud of everyone listening. Whether it's been a shite or a great running year for you,
Yeah,
you're always part of the gang.
indeed, you really are. And I mean, I'll always remember the one woman that came up to me at the National Running Show, which, by the way, do please come and see us in January.
We'll see you there.
But a woman coming up to us and saying that she hadn't run for a whole year, but she still felt part of the running community as a whole, but definitely part of us. And that, I think, made me feel more weepy than any other conversation I had, because yeah, it's true. No matter
Yeah,
what your running's been like, no matter if your running has been non-existent, you're still one of us.
yeah,
Absolutely one of us.
yeah.
And we love to have you here.
We do,
And we do. We do.
we do.
And we want you all to have an amazing Christmas if that's what you celebrate, or some time off work if that's what you celebrate.
Yeah, and we all
Um,
celebrate a bit of that. If you
yeah.
haven't got time off work, then hopefully the podcasts can keep you going. And yeah, see you all in the new year. Old acquaintance be forgot. Do, 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 do,
I'm
do.
not joining in.
I can't remember any of it.